Hello, and welcome back to another edition of iWake. Today is Monday, May 6th, 2013, and this is the in-theaters edition. So this weekend, just today, I saw Iron Man 3 in theaters right now. And that's the main encore for today's show. What else is coming up? So before we get to Iron Man 3, let's get to what to expect for next week and look forward to next week. Next week, of course, is The Great Gatsby. Starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Tobey Maguire, and many others. The week after that, we've got Star Trek Into Darkness, and we got many more coming out this month. Fast and Furious. It's going to be a good month for movies, basically. So prior to seeing Iron Man 3, I've been very involved with this series. I've done my own special fan cut of this, where I chronologically edit all of the Phase 1 movies. And now we're at what we call Phase 2. This is Iron Man 3, this is Thor 2, and Captain America 2, all culminating with Avengers 2. So now we have Iron Man 3. And on Saturday, I watched Iron Man 1, 2, and the Avengers to kind of get ready for it on Sunday. And I saw this on Sunday, Sunday afternoon, and it was a packed house. This was a packed house, and the really interesting thing was Marvel has trained the audience so well to stay for all of the credits because they know there's a post-credit scene on all of the Marvel movies, and there was a post-end scene. So it was just bizarre to me that the whole theater stayed in their seats. The cleaning crew wasn't able to disrupt us, and it was just a great experience there. That I'm out in New Hampshire, and even us folks know to stay in their seats for that. The movie itself was phenomenal. This really did feel like the end of a trilogy, the end of almost a franchise of Iron Man, that if they wanted to, they could stop making Iron Man films after this one. It did wrap itself up very nicely in a bow. I really enjoyed that storytelling technique here of him doing a lot of narration throughout it. The opening music just brought a smile to my face. It was Blue Dabba Diba Da Die, and in the 90s here, as it was a pretty popular song back then. And I remember it's a song I still listen to, actually. And it was really just almost a perfect movie. I had a smile on my face throughout it, just in delight of what was going on in the screen in front of me. It was both comedic, it was both serious and action-packed. It was a spectacular film, and there's no way about it. After seeing Iron Man 1, 2, Avengers, and now this one, it's my favorite of those four for sure. I mean, even topping out Avengers, and the Avengers is a great film. The chemistry in those characters in that film is just phenomenal, something you don't get in many of the other films out there. But Iron Man 3 delivered on many ways. It delivered on the payoff for a fan. It delivered on payoff from things you learned in Iron Man 1 and 2. And you really did get a payoff there from having seen those and having a knowledge base there. You have the payoffs of that character coming to a full circle in a maturity level that isn't perhaps not present in some of the other films. You have the payoff of some of the side effects of the Avengers movie, and now in this post-Avengers world of that happening. It's a movie filled with payoffs for those that have seen the other films. It really is. It's spectacularly. The music, it just draws you in. The pacing, the end credits montage of all three films. It's just a really well compiled movie, well edited movie, well directed movie. This is gonna be, I think, the best of all three of them when it's all said and done. After we've seen all of them several times. I don't think it's because this is a new movie that it's my favorite of the three. I think it'll continue to be my favorite, and that's a hard thing to do for a trilogy, for the third film to be the favorite. It doesn't happen that often, with number 3 being the best. That's a hard thing to do, and they succeeded there. So we are now in Phase 2 of the Avengers. We're not sure if there will be an Iron Man 4. What we do know is there will be a Thor 2, a Captain America 2, and an Avengers 2. So that will continue on for the next year or two. And after that, we're still up in the air. They have not announced an Iron Man 4, and the contract with Downey Jr. is not active right now. They'd have to renegotiate that for more films. So that's something of also of note as well. So I'll be really curious to see where they take this franchise. Will they stop doing Iron Man films? Will they instead move to different characters and expand outwards like that? I am curious because obviously he can't do this his whole life. He's a big name actor that has other roles that he'd probably want to do. But yeah, it was really well done, and I'd highly encourage you to see this. I saw the 2D version. I'm sure the 3D and the IMAX version are just as awesome of an event. But yeah, this is in theaters now, and I'd expect it to come out on iTunes around the same time Thor comes out in theaters. So with that said, I'm really looking forward to The Great Gatsby next week, and I'd encourage everyone to catch up on your Fast and Furious films. There's 5 of them out right now. I'd encourage you to watch those and get ready for Fast 6, which is coming out this month. I'm a big fan of that series. It's one I can watch again and again. I just encourage you to get caught up on those. So with that said, thanks for tuning into today's edition of iWake. Tomorrow's edition will be Apple News focused, and I will talk to everyone again tomorrow for another edition of iWake.